And what's up again, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into our second race of the night here in week 17. Oh god, does that feel sweet to still say it's week 17. Anyways, let me flip this on over. We got another good matchup here. And again, this is yet another one of our divisional matchups. I think everything this week is, if I'm not mistaken. Trying to think of anything that wouldn't be. No, that pretty well covers it. Everything's in the divisions this week. So, on the left-hand side, we got your division winner in the NFC West, Mr. JimDrizzle, looking for his 13th win of the season. And he's going to be taking on his division opponent, ArrTeaSea, tonight. And again, she was one of last year's playoff contestants. Now, the fun part to this race is that if JimDrizzle wins, he guarantees himself the third spot in the NFC and home field advantage, guaranteed in the first round. He knows he's going to get it anyways, I think, because he's 3 or 4. Yeah, he's guaranteed 3 or 4. So yes, he's guaranteed home field advantage, but he wants the higher seeding in case for later on in the playoffs you wind up with it again. So what we're going to do here, is a best 2 out of 3 race using Isaac in the same save file, Platinum God with everything unlocked. And we're going to race through the womb, too. Whoever kills off Mom's Heart first is going to get a point at the bottom of the screen where you see those zeros. And again, we'll reset both racers at that point, start from scratch, and get round 2 underway. There's 7 banned items on the way down nobody's allowed to take, which, if I wouldn't put extra letters in here, I could spell. I'm terrible at this. Anyways, they're going to list out their Dr. Fetus, Epic Fetus, Ipsy Scrolls, Christina. She knows from last year where I'm joking with here on this one. Holy Bible, Toothpicks, and the Shovel. Those you can D6. Nothing else can be D6, though. Just those 7 items. Again, we'll get to reasons why on any of them if we do see them. Toothpicks can be picked up out of that group, but nothing else can. So they're the one exception here. Everything else, like I said, kind of take it or leave it. Most glitches are outlawed. We'll get to anything should it show its face. But if you two are ready to race and you want to get this thing underway, if you want to fire some shots around the room for me, then we'll get this countdown going. You get a link into both of their channels so you guys can both go in and wish them both good luck here. If I was on the right keyboard, would work too. Haha! So now ArrTeaSea is good to go. Let me make sure Jim's good to go. You were firing right as I was saying that beforehand too. Cool, he is good. So I'm going to do their countdown for him. And again, let's do this from 3, 2, 1. And good luck. Take off whenever you hear that. Best of luck to both of you. And again, Jim going to look for his 13th win, really looking to secure that number 3 spot in the NFC playoffs. If not, he leaves it open for Full Metal Gambit to win later on this week and take that over from him. But again, they're both off and running, both with resets here, as we got my reflection on the left and the doctor's remote on the right side for ArrTeaSea that she wanted no part of. Excuse me again. All right, good early start here on Jim's new run. So he's got Liberty Cap, which is a random mushroom effect every single room that you go into. One of those effects actually happens to be the compass. So that could really save you a lot of time. Mind you, the mushroom effects aren't exactly anything to scoff at either, so you can get some damage up, movement speed increase, fire rate cap out, all sorts of good things. And Book of Shadows, 12 seconds of invincibility for ArrTeaSea. Looks like she'll take this one and be on running here. And it looks like Jim going to hang on to his bomb for now, just in case he's got pin at the end of this level. First things first, though, new item room. Ooh, Team Bean, assemble? Yep, Team Bean, assemble. So every room, Jim's going to be able to lay down a poison fart, adding poison damage onto anything that makes contact with it. Ooh, we got Famine instead, so everybody real quickly say, hey, to Famine if you would. ArrTeaSea taking out Monster over on the right-hand side. Boy, I'm not dyslexic with the directions or anything. So Jim will wind up with a guaranteed cube of meat orbiting around him that'll block shots and damage anything it comes in contact with. More and more of those you get, the more and more pieces of Meat Boy you wind up... the more and more that you wind up having. Looks like with that bomb saved, lo and behold, he will be back for this item rock. Gonna try for a Seeker Room with it too, which I think he's got. Yes, he does. The other thing I may have considered in that situation as Jim is that I may have wanted to grab the D6 before bombing into that Seeker Room just in case. But it worked out well for him, so there's that cube. He'll be on down to the second floor. ArrTeaSea grabbing herself a little bit of range increase with Mom's, wow, the beans here, what the heck. Anyways, Mom's Lipstick, a little bit of range for ArrTeaSea. Now we got on Jim's side the Black Bean. If he gets hit, that's another poison fart every single time he takes damage. It's burrito time. I wonder, can you use SNES Power to actually cook a burrito with those double beans? Let's find out. Beans, not the beans, man. It's terrible. Alright, Jim's found his second boss fight. Alright, item room and boss fight here for ArrTeaSea. So again, both working on their basement twos. ArrTeaSea, that slight advantage here, though she hasn't killed off her boss yet. And if that... There we go. I was going to say if that damn champion meat would ever die. Again, Jim at least finding his keys for the next floor. He's going to put out these fires in hopes of getting anything else like that. One extra penny. Thank you. That's what he wanted. So Virus now on ArrTeaSea. That's actually a really good combination with that Book of Shadows. ArrTeaSea has Poison Touch, so we got poison going everywhere on both sides here. Anything she makes contact with is going to take a poison damage over time inflicted on it. Now keep in mind, if she's invincible, she could just faceplant anything and continue to do the same thing. So really good synergy going on. Jim with that 15 cents, like I said, got himself the treasure map. Won't be able to see it here on this floor. Again, nice move right here on Larry Jr. too. But won't be able to see it in effect till probably the next floor. You can have a Curse of Darkness and see it. But you'll see his entire mini-map laid out. Oh my god, these devil deals today. He's gonna take both. Yep. Flying Spectral Tears with the item on the left, Spirit of the Night, and Jim also for 3 Soul Hearts purchased Technology. We've seen this a few times tonight. Uh-oh. So gonna easily be able to get over to everything. A little bit more health up there for ArrTeaSea. There's that new item room on Jim's side. She also gets a devil deal. Ooh. That Mark and Pact devil deal again. She can only take the one, so she's going to take the Pact. Not really a surprise on that one. So fire rate and damage up, along with 2 Soul Hearts to replace the blue one, or the red ones, I should say, that ArrTeaSea just spent. And she'll be on down to her caves one, where she finds her item room as well. Ooh, Jim actually getting cheap shotted there. I thought he was far enough away from that explosion. Well, do you want even more poison on Poison Touch? Holy crap. So even more poison. The third poisoning item for JimDrizzle. Unbelievable. Mom's Eye on the right side for ArrTeaSea gives her a fire rate increase. She'll also fire out the back of her head every now and then because, like they say, moms have eyes on the back of their head. A well-placed bean on that one by Jim. So all sorts of poison touching damage. He's got the black bean as well, keep in mind, folks. Might as well. ArrTeaSea's got 12 seconds of invincibility that she could play that Judgy with, but she says no thanks, she'll hold on to that Book of Shadows charge. Oh, hi, Spaz. Interested in the race? Hi. So, Jim finding himself as boss here for Caves 1. Fighting the Fallen is a guaranteed Devil Deal item free of charge at the end of this spawning instead of your normal boss loot. And ArrTeaSea also going to move on into hers and fight Peep here, so we're dead even at the moment, except Jim's got about a 50% damage. Well, in this case, it's been out about 80% as he poisoned both of them. Moot point, though, but he's got himself a damage advantage, down to just the 1 red heart, though. And speaking of cats, we got Guppy's Head now for Jim as well, so that every room would spawn a couple of friends till the end attack flies for you. Team Bean, I'm so sorry. So Guppy's Head going with Jim. Not a real bad choice there. And again, with the I've Seen Everything X-ray classes, you see he gets into his secret room on any side he wants to. And in this case, actually got the compass to proc, so he knows his entire floor layout and sees the compass now thanks to that Liberty Cap. And has a world card just in case he needed it outside of here. See, full card would teleport you back to the first room of the floor. Jim gonna head over this way, I think get to his item room, pop that full card, walk right back into that secret room and grab that world card again for later. Funny part is my cat is huge, Sigma. Like, my cat is gigantic. I'll try to show you in between races here if he actually comes over during the break. But I'll try to show you, and he's a big one, and he just like, meow. He's got the tiniest little meow for a cat his size. It's ridiculously funny. Gambit can vouch. Alright, ArrTeaSea on down to her next floor here. She got Squeezy for another fire rate increase in 2 soul hearts. Jim gonna grab himself chocolate milk. Now, here's an interesting one. Reason we call JimDrizzle SNES Power is that he actually plays this with an SNES controller. It's USB'd into his computer. So, yes, he's using a controller, which makes that chocolate milk pickup that he just had actually worthwhile, because he can just sit there and instead of actually having to, you know, hit his arrow keys over and over, he's probably already mashing his fire rate, or his fire keys, I should say. And he's going to do the exact same thing, but as you can see, can also charge his technology laser now. So you'll see a much larger laser from time to time. And again, knowing exactly where his boss fight was at, thanks to that Liberty Cap proc, Jim gonna make up a little bit of time here and fight himself the hollow. So again, still sitting to that sketchy 1 heart. Did go back and grab that world card, like I said. Thank you, health container. A little bit of damage up as well. Not tears up, but a little bit of damage with the meat. And damage-wise, ArrTeaSea finding herself a great item as well, so replacing that invincibility of Book of Shadows with the pinking shears. That'll cut her head off from her body. Body's gonna run around the room trying to run into anything it can and damage it. You get to fly around, still shooting out tears. And about more flies, in this case a halo of them for JimDrizzle, so those will be 2 flies blocking shots for him just the same way that his Cuban meat does. Only thing that they'll damage is like-looking flies, so they have to be not colored ones that wouldn't damage you anyways, so I don't really count that as damaging anything. Either way though, yes, they do kill stuff, but no, it's not much, so I really just say that they just block shots. He'll check his store, no such luck in this case, gonna find greed here. No, virus doesn't work with pinky shears. You have to actually hit it with the part that you're controlling. And the other fun part of technology, especially when you have spectral tears, and flying for that matter, hang out over the rocks, shoot through the rocks without having to worry about them blocking you. Never let anything get close. Oh, and it has piercing effect on it. So there you saw the black being enacted. Jim took a little bit of damage there, and it actually did a poison fart in the area. So let's see, not making that challenge room so worthwhile. Actually, he's going to check it anyways. So once again, that Liberty Cap just enacted. I actually saw where Jim's boss fight was at. It was one of the 2, but it was a question of which, so it's up at the top if no one saw. No, they don't kill all fly types. Give that a shot sometime by walking into a bomb fly, and tell me that that actually kills it, Dotson, because it doesn't. Ooh, that library. I'll be damned. I'm kind of surprised Jim used that now. I guess he really wants that second cube of meat. So, Book of BOILeR going with Jim. That's a damage multiplier on your tiers. More importantly at the moment, though, he used that Book of Revelations within his library, which gives him, that 1 soul heart. But also guarantees now that as he goes into this next boss fight here, that he's got a horseman. So he really wants that second cube of meat. So, oh, this is the problem. This is why I'm shocked that he used it. War just glitched out and became Conquest. So damage multiplier with the Book of BOILeR, but Jim has to deal with Conquest on Depths 1 now. So ouch, that's why you don't want to use that Book of Revelations till Depths 2 if you can get away with it, guys. Alright, speaking of boss fights, ArrTeaSea finding hers here for caves as well. She'll fight Pestilence, so the much easier horseman of the 2. There you see Pinky Shears gonna let her fly around. That body's gonna sit right inside of Pestilence, do all the damage it can. You see Jim avoiding those beams of light. They can't hit on top of the rocks. So you know you're safe if you just fly on top of those. This part, they'll fly on top of rocks. You're not safe when he charges. Just a little bit more damage. There's that cube of meat for Jim. So again, like I said, when it glitches out war and gives you conquest, it still thinks it's war. You get that cube of meat. So you don't get the flying that you would normally with it. He's already got flying ability. Jim wasn't going to be worried. But he gets the second cube of meat. That turns into Meat Boy's head orbiting around him. Razor Blade, basically the same thing as Book of BOILeR, except that it stacks and damages you to do so. So let's see, with that other, I was wondering if he remembered. Yes, he did. So that with that half an Eternal Heart, Jim will wind up with his third health container as he moves on down to Depths 2. ArrTeaSea just finding her item room here in Depths 1, so she's still making a comeback here time-wise. Definitely not out of this one yet. Alright, plenty of money for JimDrizzle. Question is, does he think that there's going to be a mini-boss fight somewhere on this floor? Apparently he does. Yes, there was somewhere. So getting himself the habit now, not really that effective in this case. Spaz? Hey. How about no? When I yell at you the first time, don't. Thanks. Cat sitting there chewing on the goddamn HDMI cable coming out of the back of the PS3. Seems legit. You wonder why my headphones just stopped working today. Yeah, you. Don't want to hear it. Spaz. Alright, Miter on ArrTeaSea's side. Now she gets a 50% chance that any red heart that spawns will actually be a blue heart instead. It wasn't me. What? It was tasty. Shut up. Only my cat, ladies and gentlemen. I was just fixing it. It was loose, human. If only I thought my cat were actually that nice and not just a troll. Yeah, you. Alright, so Jim on into his mom's foot fight. Regular Great Mom yet again. We've only seen the two types so far. Again, ArrTeaSea looking at her boss fight for Depths 1 as Internal compassed herself right on over to this. Alright, Lover's Guard would spawn 2 red hearts for her. She's going to take on the Wretched here, which is a very easy Depths 1 boss fight. This is why I'm kind of surprised Jim didn't wait till the next floor with it. Or used the Book of Revelations at all, I might say. Either way, he's just about finished off this fight. There we go. A little bit more health up. That 4th container for Jim. Probably going to keep the Liberty Cap over the Polaroid. Indeed he does. Moving on down to the Womb. In this case, yet another XL floor. That world card. Thank you. It's going to tell Jim exactly where to head, and he's going to be pretty happy that he can do this. So X-ray vision popping him right through... Oh, yeah, I was going to say, that was a dead-end room. Anyways, popping him right on through his secret room and skipping over all sorts of this floor is JimDrizzle. So just this and 2 more rooms to clear. He'll be at back-to-back boss fights. You notice there's no item rooms and no stores down here for him. So huge time saver, especially with those I've Seen Everything classes in your free entry. Yeah, Casper and those moon strats. He loves them, folks. X-ray specs. God dang, they're overpowered. And just like this, just this 1 more room for JimDrizzle to clear, and he's looking at 2 boss fights here. Alright, first of which is going to be Conquest again! So this is the problem with glitching out and actually getting one of the horsemen on Depths 1. You're pretty much guaranteed it's war. Not totally, but you're pretty well guaranteed it's war. Now if he glitches out, you get Conquest, like Jim has already fought. This time he's actually going to get the white pony out of this fight, but he has to deal with Conquest for a second time in this run now. Again, though, doing a beautiful job. He's not really too worried about this. With those Spectral Tears and flying, he's got almost no damage-taking possibilities. It could still happen, but it's a pretty low chance. So he'll save that Book of BOILeR for the next round. Speaking of which, I say that, he gets hit. Jesus Christ, Crump, stop commentator cursing, everybody. Oh, there's a no-hitter going on right now. Oh, he gave up a hit. Oh, see, and I cursed Christina, too. Son of a bitch. All right, Blue Mom. So the worst one of all, and I think I just cursed ArrTeaSea into having to fight it because I made mention of it not showing up yet. So finally Blue Mom shows, which is going to give you nothing but expansion level enemy spawns. Well, gee, Wilbur. Hello, Wilbur. That show creeped me the hell out, man. Alright, so on into his mom's the heart fight. Again, 2 floors ahead of ArrTeaSea right now. Jim looking to finish off this Womb XL, take a 1-0 lead here and move himself closer to clinching that number 3 spot in the NFC. Gorsh. Anyways, doing a beautiful job here with these bombs. Already 50% of the way through this room. Ooh, good timing on that. Actually grabbed the strength card. Didn't have to worry about getting hit. So plus to all of JimDrizzle's stats, including 1 extra health container, which is kind of moot, but he does more damage with his tears and fires them quicker. That's the important thing. And just like that, before ArrTeaSea can even finish off Blue Mom, that build by JimDrizzle, enough said, 1-0 lead on his side. So again, ArrTeaSea, if she's looking to play some kind of playoff spoiler here, is going to need back-to-back wins here in these next 2 rounds to tie up and then beat JimDrizzle. Drop him down to his 4th loss of the year and give Gambit a shot at getting the 3rd spot. But right now, if JimDrizzle gets just one of the next 2, he clinches that number 3 seed, gets himself a better chance of more home field advantage in the playoffs, not just in the first round. So again, very nicely done. We got a pressure-packed round number 2 coming up. Both of these 2 want this win pretty bad. So hang really tight here. As you can see, we're going to get them both reset, give them both a chance to get up and stretch. Do the same, grab yourself a refill, hug the wife, pet the cat, reverse the order, whatever the case might be. We'll be right back in about 2 minutes. We'll get round number 2 underway. We do that joke every time, and it never gets old, I swear. We'll be right back, guys. Alright, we're back and we're ready for round number 2. Y'all might want to pay attention to what Kling just put in chat. Hint, hint, copy, paste. Put in Steam, most likely. Well, I'm guessing that's Steam. You'll find out, but try it. Anyways, so we're back. We got round number 2 just about to begin here. We got JimDrizzle right now with a 1-0 lead over ArrTeaSea. Again, if Jim wins one of the next 2 rounds, he's going to get that number 3 seed overall clinched in the NFC, meaning that he's got a better chance in round number 2 of also still, well, not in round 2, but in the conference finals, depending on who wins and loses, of getting home field advantage again. So, very important for him here. And Full Metal Gambit may be rooting on ArrTeaSea for the next 2 rounds. Just saying. On that note, though, we're going to race again through the womb, too. So whoever kills off Mom's heart first is going to get that point, which both of these two need pretty badly here. So if you two are both ready to go, I see Jim already firing, but if you two both want to fire some shots around the room, that'll let me know that you're ready for the countdown. I'll do that, and we'll get this thing underway. Yeah, Gambit, I am. Told you. Anyways, ArrTeaSea's good to go. Oh, God, this is why I love our racers. Not maybe, I am. All right, Jim's good to go as well here. So I just wanted to make sure that he was going to fire a few more shots. On that note, let me do your countdown for you. And again, best of luck in 3, 2, 1. And good luck to you. Anytime you both hear that, feel free to take off. And whoever gets through Mom's heart first is going to be your winner. So best of luck. Again, Jim looking for that number 3 seed in the NFC. ArrTeaSea wants the next 2 wins to play playoff spoiler. Although if you start with Holy Water, that may not be the best thing for it. Dave's not here, man. Those no scrolls. So let's see one of those banned. Oh, geez, that's actually kind of interesting. Jim thought about it for a second, but he's going to re-roll his run. So we saw the Dead Sea Scrolls, which are banned, and I was making a joke about ArrTeaSea. We'll explain this now. Dead Sea Scrolls are banned because they can give you a Holy Bible or shovel usage, both of which are also banned items. Now, last year, the other problem with that item is that ArrTeaSea found out the hard way. It can glitch out and give you Wiggle Worm, which does nothing. And it gave it to her like 5 rooms in a row or something. It was ridiculous how often it happened. So we banned it this year just to allow it to be rerolled. Yeah, this time Guppy's Hairball, not the greatest of items. Jim wound up resetting it, obviously. And there we go. Finally something to start Jim's run off with. He's got damage and speed increase with those growth hormones. I almost said that word correctly. I hate that word. I hate saying growth and hormones next to each other. I can't do it for some reason. I have no idea why. If I put the word and in between, it's all good. So anyways, fighting Monstro and Monstro. See, I'll stop being a jackass now. Anyways, fighting Monstro here is JimDrizzle. He's about 50% of the way through. ArrTeaSea find a new item room. An inner eye, there we go. Triple shot for ArrTeaSea. So we got ourselves another build. She'll head on into her boss fight and take on the Widow. So Jim finishing his off, gonna grab a little bit of health up on the way down to his second floor. Alright, let's get those yes crowns. We got Pageant Boy and tons of money on ArrTeaSea side. So she'll head on down to her second floor as well. There we go. So there's that item room for JimDrizzle. If he comes across a second key, he may think about that library as well. First things first, though, you want to take that item room here. Because as we saw, he already came across a banned item before he reset, so he probably wants to hang on to that D6 if at all. Oh my god. And this is the other reason why. You can get a little bit better items, too. So the Odd Mushroom, damage up and 1 health container for JimDrizzle. He'll head right on over to his second boss. And, oh god, speaking of boss fights, that mini-boss, Super Envy. What is with only super versions of mini-bosses showing up today? I don't get this. Be real careful of checking every room on your floor, guys. On that note, Jim gonna head on into his god room that spawned for him, get himself the scapular. If he gets down to half a red heart remaining, that would spawn 1 blue soul heart for him, once per room. No, you can't bomb out. Let me try that again. Can't bomb out of mini boss rooms. Wow, that was so tongue twisting for me for some reason. But no, if you're in a mini boss room, you're stuck in there. No way to bomb out. And me and my tongue twisters, like, it doesn't matter what word it is, I can find some way to screw it up. Wow, that secret room, that dime chime, a nickel, and 4 pennies in there. Not bad for 19 cents. So head on over to his store. Ugh. What is bad for 15 cents, though, is that bum friend. Jim will say no thanks, just hang on to his money and hope for something better later on. This is true. You can dad's key out of there. That is true. Ooh, speaking of that odd mushroom, damage up and another health container on the right side as well, as ArrTeaSea finds the same item. So with her triple shot, that's really going to help her. And like Haku said, yeah, it's also not a bomb, so normal envy. Thankfully, this one won't split 3 times. Got about the same amount of health, but only splits twice per. What's up, Raffle? How you doing? Yeah, hey man, if you give me 15 cents, I'll just follow you around, take all the rest of the money that I can find possibly, and then not give you crap. Say hi to the bum friend. That's exactly what happens. Oh, and speaking of saying hi to people, let's say hey to Famine if you guys would, as ArrTeaSea's gonna have to take him on here. And I'd probably do it quickly, as she's melting through it pretty darn fast with that triple shot. But Jim finishing off that cave's 1 floor is gonna go into this item room, make a beeline over to his boss fight. Mom's pad, not terrible. He's going to take it with him. This will actually, I don't want to say freeze enemies, but it'll push them away from you for a good 5 seconds. Technically freezing them in the process, so it's COD, but not as good. You'll see why. It gets really confusing sometimes. It can push some stationary enemies out of the way and then just rubber band them directly back to where they should be when the effect ends. So you do have to be very careful. This one won't be too bad though, as Jim's going to fight against the husk. There you see that push away motion does freeze it in place as well. And already a good halfway through this fight. So you see how long that effect lasts. Pretty damn nice, honestly. Yeah, bump friends of bro if you're racing against Vendor. Touche. Alright, a little more health for Jim. We'll head on down to the caves too. And again, speaking of damage, we got the curved horn on ArrTeaSea's side now, so plus 2 more damage on those tiers. Again, also holding onto that world card as well, so full map and compass reveal whatever floor she utilizes it. Yeah, except Guppy's hairball isn't an orbital. Well, think about what the word orbit means. Earth orbits around the sun, so if it did in the same manner that Guppy's hairball did, it would just slingshot into, like, Saturn every now and then. Which wouldn't be too cool, by the way. I'd just like to point that out. That would probably end pretty crappy for everybody involved in the process, now that I really think that through. Alright, so with that golden key, might as well open up absolutely everything on ArrTeaSea's room here. So Mooncard would have teleported her to a secret room. She'll keep the world card for everything that's involved with that. Wow. To this damage build. So now Max's head. More damage for ArrTeaSea, let alone knockback on those triple shot tiers as well. And there's her boss fight to finish off this floor. So look at these triple shot tiers. Oh my. Guys, ArrTeaSea's not going to walk all the way back across her floor just to pick up a habit, which does absolutely nothing for her, in the process of also trying to make up a full floor differential between her and the guy that she's chasing, who's got a 1-0 lead in a best of 3. In a race situation, probably not worth it so much. So she'll take a little bit of fire rate increase, head on down to her caves too, where Jim's just finishing off right now, and that's the problem I'm referring to. So again, ArrTeaSea has to win this round, so she knows that she's got some time to make up too, as Jim's already finished this floor for the most part. He's got to take care of the Fallen here, but won't be too much longer in this one until it splits. There you go, now he just has to worry about the double part. Look at that bomb placement, beautiful. Alright, much nicer way. So that guaranteed Devil Deal item actually winds up being the Book of BOILeR yet again for Jim. So a damage multiplier once more on his tiers. So we got all sorts of damage on both sides here. A little bit more health for Jim again, excuse me. So that's technically speaking his 8th container. Indeed, thank you very much, Clank. Ooh, nice. Argonauts, Dead Space, and Command & Conquer, Red Alert 3. Very nice. Thank you very much, man. So again, ArrTeaSea melting on through Peep here. You see, like I was talking about, that damage, and there's that knockback as well on Max's head. It'll even move bosses on you. So a little bit more health for her. Another God Room for a free item. And Guardian Angel, so double speed orbital, excuse me. So second orbital for her. That'll also take that cube of meat, move it now at double speed. Have the chance to also block shots and damage everything, same way that does. Wow, look at that immediate boss fight here in Jim. Sorry, I had to yell at the cat for a second, who decided that, let's try to bite all the power cables hooking up the computer again. What is your issue tonight? Because you're gonna die to that, dude. I work with electricity, and trust me, I've been shocked by that. It hurts me, and you're way smaller. Anyways, Loki over on the left side for Jim. So you see those Mr. Cools in chat. Well, another pretty damn nice item there. Yeah, I was going to say ArrTeaSea probably going to replace that D6. Indeed, she will take the Unicorn Horn. That'll attach to her head, give her 5 seconds of invincibility and damage dealing as she runs into anything with it. And Jim on down to his depths too already here, just as Necropolis, so don't worry about that. He's already finished off the first floor. You know full well this is his second one, just the expansion version of it. Alright, item room showing up here on Jim's side, and again, no key yet, hence why he also hasn't gone into that library he's found here. Again, doesn't probably want to switch out that Book of BOILeR anyways. Let's see if we can't come across a key for that. If not, I really doubt he cares if he skips that item room, honestly. He's got a pretty ridiculous build going on. Not quite as good as the one on the right here, and ArrTeaSea is going to play a little bit of catch-up as she's already found her boss fight in Depths 1. So melting on through Carrying Queen. One more shot ought to do this. A little bit more movement speed increase with that wooden spoon. She'll head on down to Depths 2 herself. And again, I'm pretty sure she's okay with skipping item rooms too. So there's that key. Jim doesn't have to worry about this thought anymore. He'll get that last item. And why not? Mr. Boom, at least you could put that to use somewhere. I don't see anywhere that stands out at his secret room, though, so he's going to leave it behind, worry about that damage multiplier with the Book of BOILeR, and go looking for that Mom's Foot fight. And ArrTeaSea's still holding on to that world card, so you got a lot of time being made up right there, let alone with her build, too, so gotta worry about when she actually utilizes that on Jim's side. Very nice movement right there to actually get the turret to take out some enemies for her. Alright, so Jim on in, using that Book of BOILeR for the damage multiplier against his Grey Mom's Foot fight. Excuse me again. And again, the one nasty enemy you don't want to see spawn. Nicely done getting that purple shot out of the room. But that champion, I don't even know the name for him, honestly. But those champion heads, that little white guy that was flying around, those are the worst things you can get to spawn in here. So you saw Jim make a beeline to take that out. Here's a normal version making a beeline for him now. Again, you do not want to see that champion enemy there, and he's down to 2 hearts on his side. So now he's in a bit of a safer spot as he's up where nothing can really make contact with him except for that hand, if it happens to. He should be just far enough out of range. ArrTeaSea gonna get that last item room. Oh, geez, the carry. For what, the 5th time tonight the poop showed up? And again, it had to be the last item room, too. Of all things, had to be the very last item to show up. So the carry yet again. Ooh, now's the issue. If that meat moves over just slightly, yeah, that's the issue. It can actually wedge itself in there with you, as Jim just found out. So 1.5 hearts now. Even worse, make that 1 heart. Oh, God, make that down as the eyeball opened up. That was the fear. So Jim down and back to the beginning. Alright, Judas's Tongue makes any red dart devil deal actually only cost 1 red heart on Jim's side, as long as he hasn't seen it, which, as you can tell, he hasn't seen one yet on this floor. That was only, what, the 2nd room he'd cleared that he got that in? And ArrTeaSea's gonna try the same fight herself, get Grey Mom. And she'll head on down to the bottom herself. As soon as that arm pops out again, I think we might see that unicorn horn. Although she is just flat out melting through this anyway, so not too much to worry about. Those orbitals doing some serious work. We got little gifts showing up for Jim. Which, oh, by the way, did anybody else notice? Because I haven't said it. Dear God, these items. Anyways, dear freaking Lord, these items on these runs tonight. Sacred Heart for Jim. Sacred Heart. So we'll see if he can make a huge comeback here, but ArrTeaSea's got 2 floors to take care of. This one that she knows she could use a world card on. I'd actually probably put it to use here, knowing that she doesn't have a Curse of Darkness. But again, we'll see what happens. No more item rooms for her. To catch up on Jim's side, real quick, Famine. How you doing? Champion Famine, you're dead. So like we were saying, Sacred Heart, huge damage up homing tears on your tears. We got little Gish following around shooting out tar tears that'll slow down the movement speed and shot speed of enemies. Jim also picked up the 1-up. That writes itself, brings back to life with full health, in red heart containers at least. Also got himself 1 cube of meat at the end of that fight, which orbits around him blocking shots and damaging anything it comes in contact with. Now he just needs to find a key so he can get into that item room. Alright, Guardian Angel for JimDrizzle. Yet another orbital. That'll double up the speed of both of them as well, so even more shot blocking and more damage output for him. And there's that world card, so ArrTeaSea was heading the wrong way here. And again, the fear with that world card is that if you get down to the Womb 2 and it gives you a Curse of Darkness, you just completely wasted holding onto it the entire time. So if you get a Womb 1 and you actually can see your map, it's kind of a consideration to use it there. So let's see, Jim just melting away his boss fight, not going to worry about his pills, and head right on down to Caves 2. Caves 1, I can't do math. Excuse me again, sorry. Dealing with hiccups here too, so hopefully I can get through this one without breathing anytime in the near future and actually clear these. Oh, man. Okay, cool. That worked. Anyways, Mom's Pad once again on Jim's side. We saw that in the last round as well, which will push enemies away from me, also freezing them in place. Alright, Hierophant card will give you 2 of those soul hearts. Jim will take the death card with him, which will make, well, theoretically, he could actually use it here to take out everything. It would spawn about 5 flies out of those poops afterwards, though. Again, it'll do about 40 damage to everything in the room for you. And moving his way right on over to his boss fight again, so Jim making up some quick time. Problem is, ArrTeaSea, knowing where she was going, has cleared her way on over to her boss fight at the end of the Womb 1. Jim will hang real close here to peep, do all the damage he can. ArrTeaSea's just got these 2 brains left here. And might as well take the pill with you just in case for later. And she'll be on in to fight Daddy Longlegs, so one of the easier boss fights again. We've seen Womb 1 actually be pretty darn nice to our racers tonight. You see that Max's head knockback. She's got some ridiculously damaging tears, melting right on through this already. I love that even if the greed heads are in the air, they still get pushed back. That's always the weirdest looking effect. Anyways, there's ArrTeaSea finishing off her boss fight. A little bit more health up, so her 7th red heart container, a shot speed increase as well, which will help out considerably. And she'll move on down to the Womb 2. So now she's going to wish that she held on to that world card, because Curse of the Lost adds extra rooms onto this floor. That pill actually wound up being health down, so say goodbye to that 7th heart container. And yet another horseman fight here for Jim, so he'll wind up with even more damage on an orbital, as that'll build Meat Boy's head in place of the cube of meat that he has rocking right now. A nicely placed bomb actually damaged both Pestilence and got him that item rock, which didn't really help much, mind you, but hey, it was there. Ooh, this. Wow, gonna pass up Guppy's paws, JimDrizzle. I'm kind of surprised. So moving on down to his depths 1, again, trying to fly through as quickly as he can, left behind that possible ridiculous amount of health up there. Ooh, that dodging by Jim. Somebody wore his dodging shoes today. Alright, all ArrTeaSea has to do, though, is find this one last boss fight and take it out. Speaking of which, just came across it. So we're looking like we might have ourselves a 1-to-1 tie, and yet another Game 3 possible coming up here shortly. And yet another item room on Jim's side. First things first, though, ArrTeaSea, like I said, one more boss fight to worry about here with Mom's Heart. So we could have ourselves a 1-to-1 tie, plenty of bombs. And again, that Unicorn Horn usage as well. So Mini Bush on Jim's side now adds to his speed, adds to his range, also makes him a little bit smaller of a hitbox. Ooh, double bomb just barely misplaced. At least both of them hit Mom's heart on ArrTeaSea side. But again, doesn't have these knights taken out yet. I may have just hit the unicorn horn there and just taken him out. It's a little bit less damage against Mom's heart, but I hate those enemies with a passion. You have no idea. So working down to the last 25% here for ArrTeaSea. And Jim's still cruising on along, but it's going to be too little too late. She's got plenty of health left. Not the heart, though. There's that last little bit, isn't there? I was going to say, are we even going to use Unicorn Horn just to finish this off? But yes, she is. So working right into the center, way up on the way down up here. We are tied up at 1 again, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to week 17, where even the people that want to play playoff spoilers are trying to do that with all of their might. So very nicely done here. We have a 1-1 tie. Gambit's a happy man, waiting for round number 3, like all of us, though. So the all-deciding round number 3 is going to come up in about 2 minutes' time here, guys. Hang on to your butts. If JimDrizzle wins this, he guarantees himself number 3 in the NFC playoff spots. If not, he leaves it wide open for Full Metal Gambit to take away from him. So that could change up our matchups in the first round, depending on how everything else goes. But like I said, hang tight. We got round number 3 just about to begin because ArrTeaSea with a very, very nice run there has tied this one up. So that triple shot maxes head. Yummy! All that damage along with Curved Horn for that matter. Just yummy, yummy build is yummy. But give us about 2 minutes here. We'll see if we can't get 2 more yummy builds going on here in round number 3. Hang tight. We'll be right back with you. We'll find out who your winner is. Alright, we're back. We got round number 3 just about to begin here. And right now, like you can tell, we got a 1-1 tie between JimDrizzle and ArrTeaSea. So we're going to do one more matchup here to figure out who's going to get this 2-1 win. We'll race through the Womb 2 one more time. Whoever kills off Mom's heart first is going to get that important victory. Again, JimDrizzle wants this so he can get number 3 seed in the NFC wrapped up. Possible extra home field advantage later on. ArrTeaSea wants to spoil that for him if she was in the playoffs last year, but it's been knocked out already this year. So spoiler time, possibly? We'll see how this one all plays out. Lots of pressure on both of them, though. So if you two are both ready for this one, I just saw Jim fire, but if you guys both want to fire for me again after I finish this sentence, that'll let me know that you're ready for the countdown. We'll get this thing underway. Let me get a link into both of their channels while we're waiting. There's Jim ready to go. There's ArrTeaSea. So they're both good to go. Let me do this countdown for you both. Without hesitation, no pressure, in 3, 2, 1. And good luck to you both. So again, whoever takes out Mom's Heart first is going to be your 2-1 victor here tonight. And again, there will be that slight bit of delay because I'm doing their countdown for him. So last time I was going to say ArrTeaSea took off first. Same thing here. She's going to pick up Book of BOILeR. That's a damage multiplier you can use every couple of rooms. Jim will hear that in about now. There we go. Man, I got this timed out pretty well. Let's see. Blood Rights. Interesting. It would damage you to basically use a death card and damage everything in the room. Not so worth it at the beginning of the run, though. If you don't know that you're going to get some health up, that's a really risky item. Alright, ArrTeaSea first into her boss fight, has plenty of bombs, so you'll see that, I might have thrown that too soon. Ooh, perfect though. So, one bombing, I should say, pin. Let's get those yes crowns once again. She picks up Pageant Boy and a bunch of money, 7 cents. She'll move on down to her second floor. So advantage on the right side. We'll see if JimDrizzle can't get something good here. Yeah, that'll probably do it well enough. Maybe not. He's thinking. He's thinking. He's resetting. Wow, I'll be damned. Every 4 rooms with the relic, that would have given you 1 blue soul heart increase. So Jim gonna look for something with some damage on it. Technically kind of not exactly damage up, but it works. Technology 2 will start off JimDrizzle's run. You see a pretty much constant firing laser. Does give you a damage down on it, but it hits constantly. So it almost evens itself out just for that. But again, slight damage down. Different shot maker, though, so we'll see how this plays out. Alright, push pin on ArrTeaSea. 10% chance that you get a spectral and piercing tier effect. You'll see it'll look a little bit ghostlier compared to the other ones. And once again, Champion Famine showing up for JimDrizzle, so once again, let's all say hey to him if you would. See that cursor room being kind of nice. ArrTeaSea grabbing herself the scapular. If she gets down to half a red heart remaining, you get 1 full blue soul heart once per room. That's annoying. Sorry, I'm still messing with my headset like I'm somehow gonna fix it, which is totally not gonna happen. So I want to hear this song. I don't ask much. Alright, JimDrizzle finding that second item room here. That D20, usually very, very useful if you're trying to break the game. He'll take it with him here, as the D6 has only got 7 usages across this entire league. So he'll take that with you. Just saw what he did. He rerolled 1 full red heart right there. He actually rerolls items on the ground like that. The chest would do the same thing for him. Gives you a chance of stuff like chests, lock chests, bombs, keys, coins, cards, trinkets. I think I narrowed that all down, if I'm not mistaken. It'll reroll any of those things into other such things of the like, though. And Jim will head on into the same room that ArrTeaSea is dealing with here. She's taking out Monstro. She'll grab the Magic 8 Ball, which is mismarked. That shot speed increase, not tears up. Get that Stars card, move on down to the 3rd floor here. That might be 3rd and 4th. She might have an XL Caves floor coming up here. Indeed, she does. So Stars card's going to teleport her into the first of those item rooms. She'll take little chat. Every couple of rooms she clears out will spawn half a red heart for her. And again, being on an XL floor, she'll look for a 2nd item room and 2 side-by-side boss fights. Jim taking out Steve and going to get little Steve to follow him around with homing tears. Pretty base damage on those. And he'll be on down to his caves one. Wow, somebody was actually just driving by blasting 311 Flowing. I haven't heard that since the 90s. Jesus. I didn't know people still listen to them. I miss that album, actually. Ha, see? Kling lied. Liar. You're a great big phony. Kidding, obviously. Jesus, man, thank you. Alright, Jim finding his boss fight. No item room yet here. No keys to open it with, so maybe we try to D20 something here. Question is, can he actually find a key to spawn before he gets to his item room? We'll find that out here. There you see those, excuse me, Isaac's Fork actually healing up ArrTeaSea for half a red heart there. She finished off her room. You get a random chance with that you get that. Ooh, here we go. That's how Jim was waiting to heal up. So, Secret Room, get plenty of new items. He'll take that Devil card, which is basically your Book of BOILeR usage. So, same type of damage multiplier. And again, now with plenty of keys, he's going to go try to find that item room. See a really early Polaroid chance there for ArrTeaSea, but no thanks to it. You can get that guaranteed at the end of the depths too anyway, so she'll just wait for that one to spawn. Again, one of the other tricks, if a second Polaroid spawns at some point during this run, and she really wants that Polaroid, she has to take it then. You don't get a third. Because if Slack can vouch for this one, if I'm not mistaken, if you wind up getting 2 Polaroids throughout the span of the run, Mom's Foot doesn't spawn it for you anymore. I believe it was Slack that got that one dealt to him, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, Book of Shadows on JimDrizzle's side. 12 seconds of invincibility, just like we saw for ArrTeaSea in the last or first round. I can't remember which. Slack, yes, I can confirm. I'm so sorry, man. Anyways, there's that invincibility. Jim's just going to hang right on top of Chubb here. Boy, does that sound wrong in the wrong context. Ahem. What I meant was he's going to kill his boss quickly. Yeah. Anyway, stem cells, health up, and shot speed increase, which with technology 2 doesn't exactly help you. It does affect that other shot coming out of his eye, though. And again, on down to his caves, too, so kind of evening this out here. They both have 2 special rooms to find. These are going to be side-by-side guaranteed, though, as she has 2 boss fights left to find here. Yeah, sure. Sure. Ooh, no luck finding herself a dead-end room. And again, totally haven't mentioned the small rock that, that JimDrizzle picked himself up. So plus damage, plus fire rate. Not that he really needed much more, but he has it. And he's also walking a little bit slower. Gonna definitely take Remote Detonator, at least off the bat. You get 5 free bombs out of it by picking it up. Even if you put it back down, you keep those bombs. So Jim up to 6 now, and he'll be moving on. That either is you need air in your tires, sir, or that was the weakest peel out I've ever heard, and you should probably learn how to do that by holding the brake down, hitting your gas pedal, then letting go of your brakes. Just saying. Just saying. So with that invincibility, Jim again going to faceplant the hollow here. Rip right on through that with that technology 2, piercing through every piece of him. Again, take a little bit more health up, nothing else special for him room-wise, and head on down to his Depths 1. Curse of Darkness, meaning he doesn't get to see his mini-map again. And again, he's really thankful he's got that piercing effect on technology 2 now, because that room would have been nasty. One of those, one of those Shale Knights spawning on him. And those are just horrible. I can tell you right now, as somebody who basically only drives 5-speed manual, that not a single person that I know in real life, other than my mother and my father, can actually drive my car if I got in trouble and needed to have it driven somewhere. Know how I know that? I had to have my car towed once, and not a single person I knew could actually drive it, hence the tow is necessary. Because I hate to tell you, but it's pretty rare to come across somebody that can actually drive manual nowadays. It's a really sad thing, because manual is fun. I'm sorry, but it's so much more fun to drive 5-speed manual than it is to drive an automatic car. That's just me, but I prefer it personally. I don't get it. I don't know why people don't like it, but I love it. Manuals are so much more fun, especially, like, I live in Chicago, so you want to talk about a place where you need a manual car in the winter? It helps a ton. And your car doesn't sound like that, hopefully. Sorry I had my window open, guys. I really apologize. Either way, we got Gish fighting here on Jim's side. Gonna automatically spawn little Gish for you unless you already have him. Then it changes up your boss pool. But again, Jim not with him already. Gets him just like you had on the last run as well. So that'll follow around behind, shooting out ArrTeaSea. It'll slow down movement speed and shot speed of enemies. Also grabbing himself Abel, which pretty much the exact antithesis of a follower. Does the exact opposite of what you do. So you notice Jim's firing left, Abel's firing right. Jim's moving left, Abel's moving right, so on and so forth. It's a little confusing, and he can move your bombs on you, but he's kind of a bro. He's helped. Anyways, let's get a judgy please for Jim, as he's going to spend a little bit of money and time here trying to get something good. I learned how to drive on a 1991 Ford Explorer 5-speed. And a 91 Toyota Celica 5-speed as well, for that matter. So I got like the best of both worlds. I got like the quote-unquote sports car and the, oh god, it's gonna tip over SUV. I pretty much learned on like the worst of both worlds and figured out the happy median when I got my Honda Civic, which was 5-speed. It was interesting, I'll tell you that. Try to learn to drive on a Ford Explorer from 1991 in the middle of winter in Chicago. That was a joy. Wow, this floor just keeps going. Where are ArrTeaSea's boss fights? Oh my goodness. I thought for sure at the top of this row here, basically, we were going to see him, like, you know, basically attached to this room in the next one. But wow, this is just going to keep going over to the left. This is a ridiculous XL floor. Uh-oh, she's in a corner. There we go. Nice job getting back out. And a little bit of a heal as well. There's your boss fights. Dear God, finally. Dear Lord. To quote Sevidus. Dear Lord. 3 cents again. Let's get yet another judgy, please. Come on, finish this off the right way, judgy. That'll do it. How about the 9 volts? So a quicker recharge on your space use items. In this case, that invincibility factor of the Book of Shadows for JimDrizzle. And ArrTeaSea, like I was saying, finally into her boss fights, dealing with the first one here, which is Tanky Gertie. She'll do a lot of extra enemy spawns, but won't actually fire at you. Just have to worry, as you can see, about all these extra flies, which takes time away from hitting her. Here's the funny part in winter, like on my manual car, I got better traction than anybody else, so like if I, you know, were quote-unquote racing up a hill against somebody in the same car as me with an automatic, I destroy him because I could actually basically kick it into second gear to start with, actually get enough torque and everything to get my car moving. They'd still be sitting there spinning their tires. So it's a beautiful thing right there. You spend less gas because, like I was saying, you don't just spin your tires like an idiot half the time in snow. You just spend less gas, period, because you're not idling constantly. When you do idle, it's way, way lower RPM. So, like, I don't like automatics. They break way too easily on me. At least I can control the 5-speed. Yeah, downshifting instead of braking. Yeah, you're going to bust your clutch quicker, but hey, it works. God forbid your brakes give out. You can downshift and at least kind of slow yourself before you crash into the tree. Alright, so taking care of that fistula boss, ArrTeaSea just about done with this Caves XL finally, and man was that a ridiculous XL. That just the amount of room she had to clear going through that hallway was just insane. Did a great job of it though. And again, 2 more of these enemies to clear off. She'll be on down to her depths where Jim's just about to finish off because he's got his boss fight here. Nothing else to worry about on the floor, on into Face Mom's foot. So again, 2 full floor advantage we'll say. ArrTeaSea just starting up the depths 1. Jim just about to finish off depths 2 here. Yeah, you can downshift with an automatic too, but again, you want to break your automatic transmission a hell of a lot easier, go ahead and keep shifting it manually. Trust me on this one, you're gonna bust the thing quicker. Because they're not made to do that quite the same. Yeah, it works, but Again, same theory, yeah, you're gonna wind up, you know, basically kicking the engine to the point where it's gonna slow you down. Yeah, it works. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Alright, a little bit more health there for Jim as he takes out Mom's foot. Gonna grab that Polaroid as he's got nothing else. So if he gets down, to half a red heart remaining, he gets a 5-second damage shield every time he takes that damage. Now, same goes, let's say you're the blue baby. That Polaroid is overpowered, ladies and gentlemen, because you don't have red hearts. So think about that. If you get below 1 full red heart when you take that damage, so down to half a red heart or anything lower, cough cough, none, blue baby, you get that same damage shield every single time. Same goes if you used them all up with Guppy's Paw as well. As long as you don't have red heart containers, or if you're sitting at only half a heart and a ton of blue soul hearts to block it, for example. Same theory, you get the damage shield every time. A tasteless slushy everywhere. I like that. I like that. Only it's much more annoying. It's really more annoying to clean up than a slushy would be. I'd rather take a paper towel to something than a shovel for an hour. But I can second that. I can get behind that theory. Ooh, another library on Jim's side. So here's one of the interesting rooms you can come across. There's no item rooms or stores in the womb, but you could get a library. Same thing that ArrTeaSea's in right now, where you get 2 books. Ooh, and she used the... Oh, God. Here we go again, guys. She used the Book of Revelations on Depths 1, which force spawns a horseman fight for you in one of the next 2 floors. So in the depths, in this case, one of those is guaranteed to be a horseman fight. We know what Depths 2 boss already is, so she guaranteed herself a horseman here on Depths 1. Anybody remember what happened to JimDrizzle in round 1? Be prepared. It could happen again. She did get herself 1 soul heart out of it, but at what a cost if that happens to be Conquest here again. You can skip gears easily. Yeah, it doesn't actually screw with anything. Like, God forbid you go from, like, 1st into, like, 3rd for God knows what reason you would do that. You'd have to really screw up to not put it into 2nd gear after 1st, but hey, it's feasible, I guess. But if you did skip it, if you had enough RPMs going, it wouldn't matter at all. You'd still keep going. So it's not going to kill it unless you're really, really low on the spectrum and like, oh, let's kick it into 5th gear after 1st. You're going to kill your engine, but if you kick it into 3rd, you're fine. No, this has been like the run of no damage ups except for that small rock on Jim's side. That's literally, I believe, been the only damage up except, no, the meat was last run. Yeah, I think literally the only damage up is the Book of BOILeR on ArrTeaSea's side, which technically isn't really damage up, but it does, you know what I mean. Either way, though, it's not permanent damage. That's what I'm trying to get across. I couldn't think of the word. But yeah, I think Jim's got the only damage up in the form of the small rock. There might have been a meat that showed up at some point, but I can't honestly remember. All right, Rosary's going to give ArrTeaSea 3 more soul hearts here. Excuse me again, sorry about that. And again, it says that it ups your faith. Basically, if you were to go into a store and it happens to be a legitimate store, you're probably seeing the Bible. It ups your chance of seeing all the God items from here on out. Again, basic way to think about it, though, you're probably getting a Bible in the store. Jim, really quick, though, on over to his first boss fight. Going to get that almost full heal. Head on into his womb one, get Headless Horseman. So again, at least it's not Conquest this time, but another Horseman. This is going to guarantee him, well, let's see. I don't think he's going to take the flying. Man, that's a tough call. Do you take the Book of Shadows and the invincibility or flying as Jim? Oh, jeez. That's a tough one. Both are nice. Flying for now? Nope, Book of Shadows going with. And ArrTeaSea lucked out. War actually is war this time. So the glitch didn't happen. ArrTeaSea got much luckier than JimDrizzle did in the first round. But she does have to deal with Champion War, which, as you see, if he leaves the screen like that, is going to spawn 2 Troll Bombs. Shoots out like Tammy's head would. The item, excuse me, the Space Use item. And as he's charging, going to leave some Troll Bombs behind as well. So not the easiest, but definitely not Conquest and not the worst. Again, Jim on down to Womb 2. Just this one more floor to clear. Has that arcade back there just in case he might need it for later on. And again with War, Champion War that is, off of his horse, he'll chase ArrTeaSea around the room for the rest of the battle here. As soon as she's done with this, she'll wind up with her first human meat orbiting around her. That's kind of amazing. That's her first horseman fight. I didn't even notice. So finally with an orbital, that's why she used it. One more soul heart on the way down to her womb, or excuse me, depths 2. If only I could talk. She's on the womb too. Oh, she just skipped 3 floors. Yuck, yuck. That totally happens. Alright, waiting for that urine to clear. Jim wants that half a heart to enact the Polaroid if he ever gets back down that low. And with the dead end room, again, one of the legal methods, you can bomb right back out with your expendable bombs. Yeah, those double lusts just want hugs. Now, Jim can actually hug stuff. So again, that item synergy, this is what I was waiting to see. He luckily got virus out of this, so Poison Touch now on JimDrizzle's side means that if he comes in contact with anything, they'll take a poison damage over time. Wow, dyslexia. So again, really good item synergy as he's got that 12 seconds of invincibility with Book of Shadows. Ooh, and getting all sorts of items out of mini-bosses here. How about the Balchinian? So more health and a full heal for JimDrizzle. And speaking of Tammy's head, ha! And it showed up. So again, you saw it fires out in all directions with your type of shots, so it had the extra damage off of the small rock on it. See, it's like the game hears us, guys. It usually shows up at some point in the womb if you're opening up a locked chest. Either way, though, talk about Tammy's head. Tammy's head shows up, like I said. God, I made that rhyme. Son of a biscuit. Unintentional rhyming is unintentional. Anyways, JimDrizzle's come across his mom's hard fight here, so gonna look for that 2-1 win and clinch the number 3 spot in the NFC if he can take this out. Somehow Full Metal Gambit is hoping for a flash lockup here. Again, he's not really going to cry that much, but this is going to basically determine some of our first-round matchups. We still don't know who number 5 and number 6 in the NFC are, but this could clarify number 3 and number 4 right now. And again, ArrTeaSea out of that dead-end room by bombing out of here, down to just the one bomb herself. But again, with 13, 14 counting the one that he just used, Jim just going to drop bombs all over the place here, just about 50% of the way through, dropping that poison damage as well with virus. There's that 50% mark. And again, still holding on to his invincibility for that matter. Jim can just face smash at the end here once Lift stays out the rest of the time, and that's exactly what he's waiting for. Early good night then, Freeze. Have yourself a good one. And there's that invincibility, making sure the mom can't actually hurt him. He'll use that orbital to his advantage. And just a little bit more damage to go here, ladies and gentlemen. Say congratulations to Mr. JimDrizzle, who just clinched the number 3 spot in the NFC playoffs. So guaranteed home field advantage in the first round, and a little bit better chance, depending on who else loses, that he may have it again if he gets to the NFC finals. So again, very, very nicely done here. A 2-1 victory for JimDrizzle, his 13th of the season. There's that GG for Christina as well. So again, here we go. So let me read out the note here by ArrTeaSea. I love you, BOILeR Racers and community. Thank you for letting me be a part of this again this season. You're quite welcome, believe me. You're all amazing. I'm glad to have met you all. We love you too, ArrTeaSea. Seriously, again, everybody give a round of applause to ArrTeaSea, one of last year's playoff contestants. Got knocked out a little bit earlier this year, obviously, but put up a hell of a fight here, especially again tonight. Seriously, very, very nicely done. It was an absolute pleasure to have you back. And again, everybody seriously give a round of applause to ArrTeaSea as she's out of here for the season again, as we are done with her regular season. Man, this just keeps happening in every race. This is kind of weird. I kind of didn't consider the fact that I have to say goodbye to so many racers this week. Heartbreaking, man. The heartstrings. Ploink, ploink, ploink. Anyway, seriously, absolute class act there. ArrTeaSea is an absolutely, absolutely awesome person. Seriously, everybody go follow her right now if you haven't already. Seriously, thank you so much again for being a part of it, Christina. It's an absolute pleasure like it always is. I really hope you try out again next year, and I would love to have you back again. So again, Yeah, unbreak my heart. Okay, no, we're not singing. Anyway, seriously, very, very nicely done. Again, congratulations to JimDrizzle. I don't want to sell anything short here.